Greetings, YouTube. This could be a weird one. I use a double-walled water bottle at work, specifically because it means I can put ice inside it and it doesn't sweat on the outside. Like this is a single wall and it sweats. I don't care if it sweats at home, but when I'm at work, I don't want the water accumulating on my bench, my work bench, because it's going to mean it may potentially get on things I don't want to be wet, like my paperwork or my parts, which are bad because quite a few of the parts I make go right into a box and then from the box on to the customer, so don't want water on them. So I use a double-walled water bottle, which I got for $1 at Goodwill, and it's a wonderful water bottle. I may do a quick little review on that actually because it's just so darn handy. And that means I use ice. Now we get ice in industrial quantities at my company. We have one of those coolers that you see outside convenience stores, so the white rectangular ones with a sloped front with two big silver doors on them. That's what we have at my company, and they just dump 500 bags of 5 pounds of each of ice in these things. And then when it gets low, they come in, they load it back up again. So every 4 or 5 days, I go out there and I grab 2 bags and I throw them in the fridge, and because in the fridge in my cell, each cell tends to have their own refrigerator for storing our lunches and such. Or ice cream. Some people bring ice cream to work. I don't do that because I can't, but I guess they need a little treat. And I noticed something recently. On the bag, it says, and I've never noticed this before, and even though I've been using these bags as at work and at home or in my private life for probably my entire life, it says ice is food. Now, I get the point they're making, that ice is a substance you consume. 100% on board with that. It is a consumable. Water is a consumable. But water, and the solid form of water, ice, holds no calories. Now it does carry trace elements that you need, but those aren't food. Food is something that carries a caloric content into your body so that you can then turn that into energy and turn that energy into your body, converting it into fats and skin and hair, or for those of you who have hair. And I just find it strange. Now, I kind of almost get why they called it food, because if they put down ice is a consumable, that could very well confuse people, because they're going to go, what's a consumable? Because you would be surprised how some people can get flummoxed by what you might consider to be a completely ordinary word. I am constantly amazed when I'll use a word that I think is just, general vernacular, and have someone just go like, what? And they don't get what I'm saying. It always kind of catches me off guard. And I try not to, I'm not trying to talk down to people, I just use the vocabulary that I have every darn day. And sometimes I seem to use words that people don't get. So maybe consumable would be a bit of a stretch. I once heard, this is way back when I was in high school, that if you want to write for the general public, and I was an editor for the literary magazine at the time, if you want to write for the general public, you have to aim at the 5th grade reading level, which is so depressing. So maybe consumable is a word that's a little bit too specific, a little too unusual for your average person to get into. But food? Yeah, I'm just not seeing that. So I'm asking my viewers, then realize this is a strange, light, not particularly serious video. Do you consider ice to be food? And if you don't, how would you label the bag with the ice in it so that people would understand that it is something that can be consumed without confusing them with a word that they may not be comfortable with or have not seen on a regular basis? So yeah, like I said, this is a weird one, but is ice food?